Hello guys and welcome back. Here as always Horse Trades, and today let's talk about alt season, altcoins and of course Ethereum. As you can see in front of me, I already have the Ethereum chart, and first of all I want to start by analyzing it and understanding the next moves that Ethereum can do so that we are prepared for eventually an alt season. Many people ask me about the alt season. They want to know when the next alt season will take place. First of all, I want to show you this because on the 7th of April of this year I got asked the question, when alt season? They asked me this question under the post I did calling out the bottom of BTC. The guy in this post is asking me when alt season if BTC already bottomed out. My answer is I don't think we can see an alt season like the other one we've seen before. Most names are already down 70-90%, so you can't call it that way anymore. I think that one of the best things you can do right now is buying Ethereum while following the BTC plan. Useless to say that from that day on the 7th of April it was exactly the bottom. It was the bottom not just on Ethereum but especially on Bitcoin. So what I was saying that post was buy Ethereum while following the BTC plan, and that's exactly what we did. That's exactly how I operated on the market during that period. I made another call on Ethereum when we were around 2100, and from that moment Ethereum and Bitcoin only went up. So why I show you the comment and the answer I gave to the guy? Because it's very important to understand that an alt season like the ones we've seen before is not possible anymore. I want to show you very quickly this snapshot of the 2021 high before the bear market, and as you can see the leaderboard of the coin market cap was totally different. We can see that Solana is into the top 5, Ida Cardano was 6th, 7th XRP and so on. But the key point I want to show you is that if we go into a snapshot that was just 4 months prior to the ones I just showed you, you can see that the leaderboard is absolutely different. So what I'm saying by showing you that? I'm saying that in some months, in a couple of months, everything can change. A lot of altcoins that are maybe undervalued can grow, okay? It's not sure. We are of course at the end of the bull run, so every pump is a selling pump. You should sell at every pump. But what I'm saying here is that everything can change from a day to another in this market. So maybe a lot of altcoins that are now charging up will explode later. For example, in my opinion, LTC in my opinion is one of them. Here it shows a previous plan that I shared with you in some videos ago hasn't been respected. That big crash that we had 2 weeks ago fucked a lot the markets and yeah, changed a little bit the charts. But apart from that, what I'm saying is if the alt season will take place, it should take place from here. So I don't want this shadow of the altcoins to be catched up, to be taken. I don't want to see these to go into the ETH. I don't think it's possible. So what I think is possible from here is maybe going around here and pump at maximum, but I don't want to see a dump from here. If the alt season will take place, this won't happen for sure. The shadow won't be taken. Of course, that's not the case if we are talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin, because the shadow is very small and is not taking any big low or any change of structure. The only thing that maybe worries me is the fact that I think in Bitcoin and Ethereum the shadows will be taken. As I said in my previous video, I expect at least Bitcoin to go down to 102k and maybe into 97k. If that happens, Ethereum can go down to $3,000 and react from there. So this is the main plan on Ethereum. Maybe a little deviation under that level at 3,400 is also a good point to react and make bottom. If I'm considering Bitcoin as the king, I expect Ethereum to go down up to 3,050. Because we already know if Bitcoin drops by a 10%, Ethereum will drop by a 15-20%. So I'm prepared for every scenario in case a big drop happens. The focus of this video is talking mostly about altcoins. So let's go to see the CoinMarketCap leaderboard so we can compare it to the previous screenshot I showed you. In the top 3 we have the kings of the market, so we have BTC, which is of course the king, Ethereum, which is the queen, and on the 3rd position we have USDT, which of course is the biggest company on the crypto industry, is the biggest legal company on the crypto industry. Of course, also Ethereum is a big company, but USDT has more structure, is more of a real company than Ethereum is. Of course, on the 4th position we have BNB, which represents the Binance ecosystem, represents the centralized exchanges ecosystem. So this coin can't really go down too much from this position, otherwise the market is fucked. On the 5th rank we have XRP. On the 6th we have Solana, which is one of the biggest assets right now, an asset that went from $8 to 250. I think the most volatile asset in this market. On the 7th and the last position I'm talking about is USDC. Again, also on the 7th position we have another stablecoin. This tells a lot about this market and tells a lot about the power of the stablecoins on this market. Stablecoins are one of the biggest assets in this market because when we see drops, there is no 10% drops, there are 40-70% drops, something crazy drops. The safest or the less riskier asset in this market is stablecoins. So that's why we find 2 assets on the top 10, 2 stablecoin assets on the top 10. Of course, in terms of cycle, of big cycle, it's very late to call for an ALTSEASON, especially to call it for March or to call it in like 3 months, 4 months. I think the ALTSEASON, if it starts now or at least the next month. I won't go more further than that, so in my opinion, if it doesn't start around November, then there won't be an ALTSEASON. Of course, when I say ALTSEASON, other than putting it on the title, I mean altcoins that are not Ethereum and Bitcoin do very big pump, like 100% pump, at least like 10-20 titles I want to see pump, because otherwise it's not an ALTSEASON but just a random pump that happens every day. If you want to be a printer, stay updated on the market and don't lose money, make sure to drop a follow on Twitter, on YouTube, especially on YouTube. Drop a comment, a like, and let's see you in the next video. Another alert rang during my video, another TP taken, another video completed. See you in the next.